Outlining and structuring a fiction story can feel like trying to build a house without a blueprint. You have all these ideas, characters, plot points, themes, but piecing them together into something cohesive can be a challenge. That's where many of us, myself included, hit a wall. But then I learned how to properly use archetypes and the hero's journey with this book, The Writer's Journey by Christopher Vogler. Greetings all, my name is Tom Laspisa and I'm the author of the Agra Saga, and welcome to Mythmaker. So stick with me to the end of this video and I'll show you how this easy tool can help you build stories that stand the test of time. Full disclosure, I'm not being sponsored at all for this video. I just found this book really helpful and want to share it with you guys. So what does this book do that other writing aids don't? Basically, it provides you with a comprehensive toolkit. The character archetypes and hero's journey presented within make it incredibly easy to organize ideas and craft psychologically magnetic stories. I'd argue that it's a resource that can solve almost any problem you'll face when structuring your story. But Tom, you ask, why should I use the hero's journey? It's for losers and amateurs. Well, dear viewer, I'm here to show you that it is not. And why can I say that? Because these concepts are rooted in very ancient truths about how humans understand stories, especially in the Western style. They aren't meant at all to constrain your creativity, but rather to inform it, and they can be changed or ignored to serve the story you need to tell. So, let's take a closer look. First, we need to cover what main types of characters can exist in your story, since character creates plot and is the foundation of Western storytelling. We'll start with the hero or heroine archetype. The story functions for this archetype are audience identification, growth, action, sacrifice, and dealing with death. Through these functions, an audience has a window into the story, experiences a personal growth journey, and is drawn through the plot via interesting choices and actions. However, arguably the most psychologically powerful and most important role for the hero is self-sacrifice and dealing with death. Death may be physical, spiritual, emotional, or any manner in which the hero must lose or give up something to gain a greater treasure. The hero can be another archetype as well and isn't limited to a good or moral character, though audiences tend to connect more deeply to characters they can find hope and trust in. Heroes may be willing or unwilling, or they may be more like anti-heroes. Often, the hero archetype puts on masks of other archetypes as they move through the story. We'll discuss more of those later. You can introduce interesting flaws to humanize a hero and provide room for growth. Compelling flaws in personalities or capabilities allow an audience to feel more connected to a character, while growth allows an audience to want to follow the character and again place their hope in them. Character growth often inspires an audience and keeps them hooked for the entire duration of the narrative. Next up is the mentor archetype, or the wise old man or woman. The story functions for this archetype include teaching and gift-giving. The mentor being a gift-giver is rooted in mythologies across cultures. However, based on studies of fairy tales, Wagner suggests that the gift or help of the mentor should be earned by learning, sacrifice, or commitment. The mentor may be a clever inventor, a representative of the conscience, a motivator, or the planter of information or objects that will become important later. This archetype may also be placed in the story as needed. As Vogler states, although the hero's journey often finds the mentor appearing in Act 1, the placement of a mentor in the story is a practical consideration. A character may be needed at any point who knows the ropes, has the map to the unknown country, or can give the hero key information at the right time. Mentors may show up early in a story, or wait in the wings until needed at a critical moment in Act 2 or Act 3. There's a somewhat funny trope of the mentor always being killed off early in the story so the hero can be on their way, but there are plenty of ways for the mentor to be absent at the right times as your story needs, either by physical or emotional distances. Third on the list is the Threshold Guardian, who provides story functions such as testing the hero and signaling new power. Threshold Guardians are obstacles at important milestones in the hero's journey. Their purpose is to serve as checks for the hero's capabilities and help both the hero and audience understand how far along the hero is. They're usually not the villain or a direct enemy, but they are definitely antagonists insofar as they oppose the hero. However, if properly understood, they can be overcome, bypassed, or even turned into allies, as Vogler states. Threshold Guardians are also meant to be like mini mirrors for the hero to understand themselves better and create the motivation to grow in cleverness, physical strength, or heart. You may initially think of a Threshold Guardian as a character, but it could also be an environmental obstacle, an animal or beast, an occupation, etc. At number 4, we come to the Herald, who provides the story function of motivation. As Vogler puts it, like the heralds of medieval chivalry, herald characters issue challenges and announce the coming of significant change. Characters of this archetype have rather basic functions, but serve a deeply psychological and spiritual purpose. Without a designated character to call and pull the hero out of mundanity and into greatness, the hero would never go on a quest to begin with. The herald can sometimes also be the mentor, but could be almost any type of positive, negative, or neutral character or force. It could be another ally, a ghost, a mythical creature, a change in weather, a one-line messenger, or even the villain offering a boastful challenge. Number 5 is a popular archetype called the Shapeshifter, which functions in the story by introducing doubt and suspense, or acting as a mask that other characters and archetypes may wear as needed. This archetype can take the form of literal shapeshifting characters, wizards or witches, fickle or mysterious romantic partners, femme fatales, characters who switch sides between allies and enemies, spies who change appearances and demeanors to manipulate events, and so many more. The shapeshifter is a very ancient archetype that has been used across cultures, with notable mythic examples like Loki, Zeus, Morgan Le Fay, and creatures such as vampires, werewolves, etc. The hero or other characters may also put on the symbolic mask of shapeshifting to alter themselves to approach a challenge in a clever way. This archetype, ironically by its very name and nature, is rather fluid across character types and a great tool for building intrigue by introducing chaos and random events. At number 6, we have the Shadow, an archetype that's necessary for growth-based stories. The functions of this archetype include challenging the hero, providing a worthy opponent, showing the hero his or her dark side that must be addressed, and acting as a shadow mask that other characters and archetypes may wear as necessary. Vogler states, "It's often been said that a story is only as good as its villain, because a strong enemy forces a hero to rise to the challenge." And this is so important because many times one of the greatest antagonists for the hero can be the villain within himself. Like the Threshold Guardian, the main villain of a story can act as a mirror of the hero. Some of our favorite villains are the dark side of the same coin the hero is on, and just a few bad moral choices can send the hero down a terrible path. The Shadow can be represented in a single character as a villain or antagonist, but it can also be shown through multiple characters at different times via the mask function. These characters could be friends or foes of the hero, but they challenge the hero on his shortcomings and sinful side. Number 7 on the list is the Ally, who provides the functions of introducing the audience to the special world and assisting and encouraging the hero in his struggles. The Ally can provide a window into the unknown world by acting as a stand-in for the audience when something requires an explanation. They may ask the hero, mentor, or another character key fundamental questions about the special world or its strange denizens that we would also be curious about. On top of this, the ally is the hero's strongest companion and his greatest source of emotional strength. Many times the ally character can steal the show from the hero without the author's intent, as the ally usually brings their own vulnerability and moral character into the action. Allies can take the form of assistants, sidekicks, helpful servants, animal friends or familiars, patron saints, angels, divine helpers, ghosts, demons, etc. And lastly, we have our favorite archetype of all, the Trickster. This archetype provides the functions of comic relief and wildcard moments. The Trickster doesn't necessarily have to be a clown character, but they alleviate unrelieved tension, suspense, and conflict, which can become emotionally exhausting or draining when too much is thrown at the audience. They may also provide excitement for the audience insofar as we don't know what shenanigans the Trickster might get into at any given moment. The Trickster may cause further complications for the hero or allies, or create comical issues for the villain and other antagonists. This archetype can be similar to the shapeshifter, and both archetypes often live in the same character, but the functions are slightly different, and so these roles can be delegated to different characters. Trickster characters are very popular in myths and can take the form of divine helpers, forces of chaotic nature, or shadowy villains of the deadliest kind. In addition to the 8 main archetypes, there are several sub-archetypes that can be used to enhance your cast of characters. I've gathered a list of 20 here that can be used on their own or combined with some of the main archetypes for really unique and interesting characters. If you need inspiration, you can even randomly determine these by using a random number generator like a set of dice, or create flashcards and pull them out of a hat. For example, I may end up with combinations like an outlaw mentor, or a magician trickster, or a rival herald, whose name should also be Harold. If you try out different combinations in this way, I'm sure you can become inspired for your next story. One of my favorite archetypes is the trickster or wildcard character. And my own book, The Agra Saga, includes a crazy sorcerer companion where you're never really sure if you can trust him or what his next move will be. He really likes to come up with nicknames for the other characters and dance awkwardly, and everyone likes that. Link is in the description. The writer's journey also lays out the condensed 12 stages of the hero's journey and explains them from multiple angles. Always remember that these stages can be altered and switched around at your discretion. It's your story and you get to choose how it flows. Without getting too deep into the weeds with each stage, instead I'll share some guiding questions that can set you up for success. 1. Ordinary world. The place our hero calls home and feels most comfortable. The special world and the end of the journey usually contrast with this current state. What does comfort and complacency look like for your hero? What elements define your character and relationships before the adventure begins? 2. Call to adventure. The journey is set in motion by disrupting the comfort of the hero in his or her ordinary world. A challenge or quest is presented, often by a herald character. What event or challenge disrupts the hero's ordinary world? Why is this call significant to the hero's growth? 3. Refusal of the call. The hero refuses the call to adventure based on latent fears and insecurities. The special world beyond the horizon poses potential risks and outcomes of both failure and success, so the comfort of the ordinary world is more appealing for now. What fears or doubts hold the hero back from accepting the call? What does your hero stand to lose? 4. Meeting the mentor. The hero encounters a mentor figure who bestows wisdom, confidence, advice, training, and/or special gifts to assist him in overcoming the trials that lie ahead. Who serves as the mentor in your hero's journey? What wisdom or tools does the mentor provide to prepare the hero for the adventure? 5. Crossing the threshold. The hero leaves the ordinary world behind to enter the special world and commits to the journey. Here, the hero leaves their comfort zone and runs headlong into unknown dangers. What moment marks the hero's commitment to leave their ordinary world behind? Is this threshold external, internal, or both? What is the hero's emotional response to this leap into the unknown? 6. Tests, allies, and enemies. This is a series of challenges where the hero must overcome the odds with the help of a mentor, friends, special objects, and wits. The hero learns the rules of the special world and collects both friends and enemies. What challenges must the hero face to grow and learn? Who are the allies they meet, and who poses as their enemies? How do these challenges and relationships change your hero or not? 7. Approach to the inmost cave. The hero prepares to face the greatest challenge in the upcoming ordeal, often with a sense of dread or anxiety. There may be great training, plans, investigations, or serious manual labor involved to allow the hero to get to the greatest antagonist or fear. What preparations must the hero undertake to face their greatest challenge? What fears or doubts arise as they draw closer to this challenge? Who or what can the hero rely on at this point to not give up? 8. The ordeal. This stage is the central life or death moment. or the crisis around which the story pivots. Here, the hero faces his greatest fear and stares literal or figurative death in the face. What is the central life or death moment for the hero? How are the hero's limits tested, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? Is the hero capable of winning the day on their own? Why or why not? 9. Reward: seizing the sword. The hero survives death and is reborn into a new manner of being. With the hero's greatest fear or challenge overcome, he becomes a stronger person and will often return with a boon or prize. What physical prize or insight does the hero gain from overcoming their ordeal? How has the hero changed as a result of this experience? How will the hero's relationships change as a result? 10. The road back. The hero moves back towards the ordinary world, and they may not fully cross the threshold back at this stage, but there is often another great challenge lurking in the near future. There may be a great final battle or a trial of will. Sometimes the greatest challenge is a battle within the hero's heart. Do they satisfy their own desires or take hold of a higher good? What new challenge emerges as the hero tries to return to the ordinary world? What new skills does the hero employ to combat this new challenge? How is the hero's loyalty tested during this stage? 11. Resurrection. The hero is often put to a final and ultimate test and transformed completely. Following this, the hero's rebirth as a new person is completed and he is renewed with gifts to share with the wider world. What final test does the hero face? What allows the hero to overcome this final test, and how do they compare to what they were like in the beginning of their journey? Has the hero gained what they originally wanted, or what they needed? Is there anything left unsatisfied in their heart for this journey? 12. Return with the elixir. The hero at last returns home to the original, ordinary world. However, he now bears gifts from the special world to transform the ordinary world. These gifts may be transformative on a personal level, but they are often used for the benefit of the hero's community. What treasures, physical or metaphorical, does the hero bring back to their ordinary world? How will these gifts transform the hero's ordinary life or the lives of those around them? Why do these gifts ultimately matter for the hero and the ordinary world as a whole? What impact will they have? Your next story has the potential to inspire, entertain, and leave a lasting impact. So share with me in the comments what writing project you're working on and if you think the tools I've discussed could help you. If you want to support me, then please like this video, subscribe, and check out a copy of my book, The Agra Saga. I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like more details on the hero's journey and my attempts at voice acting, then you'll enjoy my video on The Hobbit, which is up on screen now. And until next time, Godspeed and happy writing.